Hey, my friends, it's your girl Cassandra coming at you today. Today is Wednesday, March the 6th, and this is your 10-minute takeaway. I said that I was going to be going live every day in the month of March with a 10-minute takeaway. Now, for those of you who don't even know who I am, my name is Cassandra Bellevue. I am an author and I am a certified life coach, and my passion is helping people to figure out their purpose and also helping them to activate said purpose. So let's say you're somebody who feels called to start a certain type of business. That's great. We get you to the point where you understand how you're wired and this is what your purpose is. And then track 2 is all about getting that business launched and getting your customers in. A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. I encourage you to go out to CassandraBellevue.com for 3 reasons. Number 1, as soon as you get there, you're going to be invited to join our email newsletter. I encourage you to get in on that because in the next few months, we are going to be announcing a lot of giveaways, promos, discounts. I'm going to be doing a live webinar coming up here soon. The folks on the email list are going to be the first to know and the first to get dibs on access to all of that. Number 2, we are having a $5 sale in the merchandise store. So we've got tank tops, t-shirts, hats, beanies, all for $5. Why? Because we're making room for the new inventory that's getting ready to come in. So go ahead and snatch those up while they're still there. We will not be restocking those. And then number 3, I wrote a book back in 2020 called Pressed But Not Crushed. It is all about what you think it's about. It's about being in those crazy situations, the pressures of life, feeling like you want to give up, feeling like you want to throw in the towel, but something in you rising up to want to persevere and fight. I love encouraging people to not give up on themselves, their purpose, their destiny, and keep going until they reach the goal. So that's why, number 1, I have a life coaching track that's all about helping people to understand their purpose. A lot of people feel like, I don't have a purpose, I don't know why I'm here, and that leads to a lot of hopelessness and depression and things like that. And then some people kind of know what they want to do, but they don't know how to get there. And that's when I get to leverage my 10 plus years as a project manager and help you to take your dream, break it up into tasks, and get you across the finish line. So go out there to CassandraBellevue.com and sign up for the newsletter, shop around in the $5 store, and also get you a set. Both books right now, I have my Press But Not Crush book and the companion guide. And basically, those are $15 right now in the store. So grab a set for yourself, for some friends, for some family, start a book club, start a Bible study, get it going. So today's topic, what I want to focus on today, the topic for today is there's only one you. Break the comparison. So one of the things that I talk to my coaching clients about, one of the things that many of them run into is, I love that moment when I'm talking to a client and their eyes are wide and they're talking a million miles a minute and they are talking about what they are passionate about. And I just love watching that because I'm like, wow, it's amazing how God has wired us all differently, because there's things I'm passionate about that you probably couldn't care less about, and vice versa. But we also have our tribe. We have the people that we're supposed to be reaching. And one of the saddest parts about that, sometimes when people are going on and on and on about what they're passionate about, sometimes they reach this point where you can tell, like, they're like, oh, well, I'm rambling, and then they get sad, and then they say something to the effect of, oh, but that market's kind of really saturated right now, or, oh, but there's a lot of people kind of doing that right now. And my whole thing is, there's only one you. You can take 10 different people with 10 different personalities running the same type of business, and it's going to give a very different effect. I'm reminded of a story. A couple years ago, I had an acquaintance who I hadn't talked to in years reach out to me on social media. When she saw that I had launched my life coaching business, she was like, hey, can I pick your brain? So we had a really great conversation, and she was just asking questions like, how did you get started? And so she started sharing a little bit about her passion and what she wanted to do. And so I kind of gave her a lot of my resources and was just like, yeah, go here. This is where I got my certification. Make sure you start your business, and just like, some general resources. And at the end of the conversation, she looks at me and she says, thank you so much for sharing all that with me. She's like, most people wouldn't even share all that because, like, they feel like we're in competition. And I'm talking to her and I'm thinking, you and I have totally different life experiences. What she brings to the table, her experiences, her expertise, her skill, like she's going to bring something completely different to the table as a life coach than I'm going to bring. So there's no such thing as too many people in this industry. You're going to bring something that nobody else is going to bring because of your passion, your personality, your life experiences. Bringing all that brings a very unique bundle to the table. And so I like to remind people, like, break the comparison. Stop looking at the people around you who are doing the same thing and thinking like, oh, there's a whole bunch of people already doing that. But are there people doing exactly what you're going to be doing? Not really. And then the other thing I like to warn people about is like, don't get into comparison where you're like, oh, well, they're in the same industry and this worked for them, so let me try it too. Bring your authenticity, bring your individuality to the table, okay? I say this all the time and I want to say it again. There's something that you carry that the world is in need of. Again, there's something that you carry that the world is in need of. And nobody's going to bring it to the table the same way that you would bring it to the table. So I say all that to say, if you're somebody who's kind of feeling like you have this idea, but you don't know where to start, and then you kind of teeter-totter and go back and forth because you're like, should I? Is it going to be successful? It seems like there's a lot of people doing that already. I encourage you to move forward. Move forward. Let's make sure it's the right fit for you. Let's make sure it's the right fit for you. So I have 2 life coaching tracks that I want to share with you. My first track I call Your Purpose Activated. This track is for you if you're somebody who's like, I don't think I have a life purpose. I don't really know what I'm here to do. I don't know what I'm called to do. You're feeling really hopeless. Sometimes you're feeling depressed and you're just like, I feel like I'm just floating around with absolutely no reason for being here. Well, I'm here to encourage you that everybody has a purpose and a calling. I believe that God, when he was knitting you in your mom's womb, literally was like, this one is going to have, that charisma to be able to do X, Y, Z. And I'm going to sprinkle him or her with the skills and the talent to reach these type of people. Everybody has a purpose, call, and a destiny. And so that first track of Your Purpose Activated, we figure out what your purpose and your calling is. It's already there. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and it's going to bubble to the surface and you're going to see it for yourself. We identify the things that may be hindering you. Okay, let's face it. Mindsets can hinder you from moving forward. People around you can hinder you from moving forward. Maybe bad habits can hinder you from moving forward. So we identify those things so that you can do the work to get rid of them, move them out of the way, so that you're better positioned to do what you're called to do. By the end of the first track, Your Purpose Activated, you're going to have a really good idea of like, wow, this is what I was wired for. This is me. Now, the second track, which is Get You Across the Finish Line, that's for the people who've already identified, this is the business I want to run. This is what I'm passionate about. I just need the task. Now, as a project manager for the last 10 years, that's what people do. They come to me with their broad, big idea. This is what I want to do. This is approximately how, like when I want to do it. Could you make that happen? And it's my job to break it all down into tasks and lists and, responsibilities and things like that. And so I can help you break it down into itty bitty pieces that just makes it so easy to just follow. You're just going to follow the script, follow the tasks to get you to where you want to go. So this month in March, we're doing a special promotion where we're actually mixing both of the tracks together. So Your Purpose Activated plus Get You Across the Finish Line is going to come together and going to come together at a discounted promotional price. So I encourage you to go out to CassandraBellevue.com. I told you the reasons to do that. But also go out to my link tree, and I'll put that link here in the comments, because if you go to my link tree, you'll see the ability to click on a 15-minute free Approach the Coach session. So you can get my time, I can get to know you, we can see if we're a good fit for one another, and we can see which one of these tracks best suits you for where you are in life. But hey, let 2024 not be another year that closes out with you being disappointed because you didn't do the things that you were called to do. So let me help you get across the finish line. Again, I'm Cassandra Bellevue. I would love to meet you. Reach out to me and let's get started.